For years, the people of Earth believed they were alone in the universe. There were stories, yes, strange signals, fast-moving lights in the sky, satellites that vanished. But life continued. People worked, laughed, slept, and fought over small things until the sky changed. It happened just after midnight, across all time zones, at the exact same second. All screens, phones, TVs, computers, went black. Then, a single message appeared in glowing red letters. "We are here." No one understood. Was it a prank? A virus? Then the sky answered. From every major continent, North America, Europe, Asia, Africa, South America, people ran into the streets as a deep hum filled the air. It wasn't thunder. It wasn't a plane. It was something more alive. Children screamed, dogs barked, lights flickered, and then they saw it. Above Earth, the clouds tore apart, not slowly, not gently. The sky was ripped open like paper. From the breach, massive ships descended. Not one or two, thousands. Each ship was dark, long, and silent, like floating knives. Their shape was smooth, alien, unnatural. They moved without engines or wings. Some were as large as entire cities, and they were not hiding. Above every capital city, the ships hovered. Over New York, over Moscow, over Tokyo, over Islamabad, over Cairo, over Paris, over Lagos, over Sydney. The world had never been so quiet. Then came the voice, not from the ships, but from inside people's minds. "This world belongs to the Zoratha Empire now. Surrender, and you may serve. Resist, and you will be erased." Millions dropped to their knees. Some cried, some prayed, but others got angry. Inside a hidden military base beneath the Ural Mountains, General Arjun Rao stood in front of a glowing map of Earth. Red dots filled the map, enemy ships, too many to count. A young officer ran into the room, his face pale. "Sir, they've disabled our satellites. Global comms are down." General Rao didn't flinch. "How much time?" "They're not firing yet. They're waiting." Rao's eyes narrowed. "That's a mistake." He walked toward a steel door marked Project Helios, classified. "No one's touched that in years," the officer said. "Time to wake it up," Rao said. "Earth's not going down without a fight." In orbit, one of the alien commanders, High Marshal Varric, observed Earth from his throne-like control pod. His species had conquered over 50 worlds. None had ever survived the first wave. He turned to his second-in-command. "This planet is slower than we thought. No orbital defenses, no counterfleet, no sign of resistance." The second officer grunted. "They are primitives." But then, one of the city-sized human satellites blinked. It vanished for 0.2 seconds, then reappeared behind the nearest alien ship. It slammed into it without warning, shredding it into molten metal. Alarms screamed on Varric's ship. "Who launched that?" "Satellite!" Varric shouted. "Where did it go?" Another officer gasped. "It didn't move. It jumped." Varric's eyes narrowed. "Impossible. Humans don't have jump tech," but they did. Back on Earth, General Rao watched as a secure channel lit up. "Project Helios is online," a robotic voice confirmed. Buried beneath Antarctica, hidden deep in a frozen crater, Helios 1 rose from the ice. It wasn't a missile. It wasn't even a ship. It was something older, something ancient, built from recovered tech no one fully understood. Humans hadn't made it. They had only found it. And now Earth was using it. In New Delhi, the night sky burned gold as two alien ships collided in midair, jammed by something unseen. In Beijing, human stealth drones, powered by AI banned decades ago, reappeared in the skies, blasting energy bolts at enemy vessels. In the Pacific Ocean, the water bubbled as black submarines, long thought decommissioned, surfaced. They bore no flags, no names, only a symbol, a burning sun. Inside an alien ship above London, Commander Ularek watched in shock as human response systems activated faster than expected. "Wait," Ularek whispered. "How are they coordinating so fast?" One of his officers checked the scans. "Sir, they're not using satellites. They're using landline cable networks, underground, wired, hidden." "They planned for this?" Ularek hissed. No one answered. Suddenly, a message played across all. "Alien channels. This is Earth. You are not welcome. You will not survive. In orbit, 3 alien ships moved to target Helios 1. Before they could fire, the sky above Antarctica cracked open again. A beam of light, pure, white, and soundless, fired from Helios. It didn't explode. It erased. The 3 ships were gone. No fire, no debris, just gone. Alien commanders across the fleet started to panic. We don't understand their weapons. Where did the energy come from? This planet is not as it seems." In Brazil, a 12-year-old girl looked up at the sky as her city shook. Her mother tried to pull her inside, but the girl stopped, eyes wide. Above her, a ship was falling, slowly, broken. It crashed into the jungle beyond the mountains. The shock wave hit seconds later. The girl whispered something no one expected. "They came to scare us, but I think we're the scary ones." Across the galaxy, in hidden rooms of alien empires, other species watched the invasion unfold. One elder turned to his council. "The Zorathi invaded Earth?" Another nodded. "Yes, without asking us." And silence. Then a final message arrived on their screens, sent by the Zoratha fleet just seconds before contact was lost. A single word: run. General Arjun Rao stood in silence inside the command center. Around him, screens flickered with enemy signals. The Earth's skies were full of invaders. Red lights moved over every country. But one screen showed something different. A blue signal. A signal not seen in over 40 years. Project Helios. "Confirm power levels," Rao said calmly. The AI voice replied, "Helios 1 at 78%, charging complete in 4 minutes. The officer beside him whispered, "Sir, should we really use it? No one fully understands what it is." Rao didn't look away from the screen. "We don't need to understand it. We just need to survive." 40 years ago, a strange object was found under the Antarctic ice. It wasn't metal Earth had ever used. It didn't have doors or windows, but it hummed. It had energy inside. Some said it was alien. Others said it was ancient human tech, something lost from a forgotten time. The world leaders covered it up. They called it Project Helios. Only a few scientists and generals were allowed near it, and only one rule was given: use only if Earth faces full extinction. That moment had arrived. Far above Earth, High Marshal Varric of the Zorathi Empire roared in frustration. His fleet had never faced such confusion. Ships were disappearing, systems were shutting down, weapons were not working as expected. And now, one of their own ships, the Galrak, was completely gone. No trace, not even metal fragments. "What is this weapon?" Varric shouted. "Scan it again," his science officer replied nervously. "It is not a weapon. It's something else. It does not emit radiation. It does not use heat. It's as if it pulls matter into another dimension." Varric growled. "You're saying it erases?" "Yes, High Marshal. And it's powering up again. Back. On Earth, General Rao gave the order. All forces to stand by. Do not engage unless fired upon. Let them wonder what's coming." The officers nodded. Everyone felt it. The shift. Fear was turning into something else. Control. In a secret underground facility in Alaska, A scientist named Dr. Lin May monitored Helios 1's charge. Her face was pale, but her voice was steady. "Sir, Helios is absorbing atmospheric static. It's pulling power from Earth's magnetic field." "How long until it fires?" Rao asked through comms. 60 seconds. "But sir," she paused. "Yes? It's growing stronger than expected." "What do you mean?" "I mean, it's learning." Above the Pacific Ocean, a group of alien ships prepared to launch their first orbital strike. Cities along the west coast were in their targeting systems. Just before the order was given, a strange signal echoed across their controls. Then all their screens went black. One word appeared. "Stop!" The alien commander blinked. "What language is this?" Another officer replied. "It's not any language. It's being sent straight to our minds." The commander shouted, "Fire now!" But the weapons didn't respond. And then, from deep in the clouds, a beam of light sliced through the sky, white and silent. It touched the lead alien ship for half a second. That ship vanished. No explosion, no sound, no trace, just gone. The other alien ships immediately pulled away. In cities around the world, humans watched the skies with awe. The ships that had filled the heavens were suddenly moving away, backing off, as if. Afraid, news channels reactivated. Radio towers came online. The blackout lifted. People heard a message broadcasted worldwide from the United Nations Emergency Channel. General Rao's voice. "Earth was invaded, but Earth is not broken. We are not conquered. This is our home, and we will protect it." Inside the main Zoratha command ship, Varak stood trembling. He had never faced defeat before. "Recall the outer fleets," he said quietly. "But High Marshal, I said recall them. Earth is not ready to fall. And if we stay, we won't leave." But the Emperor ordered, "I will speak to the Emperor myself." Varak growled. "This is no ordinary species. They knew we were coming." He looked down at Earth on the screen. "I think they were waiting." Deep inside Project Helios, strange lights began to move faster. Symbols changed. Energy pulsed like a heartbeat. And for the first time, the machine made a sound, a deep hum. Then a voice spoke, not human. "One defense cycle complete. Shall I continue?" Dr. Lin May froze. It spoke?" The AI inside Helios waited. "Earth is not safe," Lin whispered. "Yes. Prepare next cycle." Cycle 2. Space disruption. Initializing. The ground rumbled, the air sparked, and somewhere beyond Earth, space itself began to twist. The skies were no longer quiet. Across the world, humans watched with fear and curiosity as the alien ship slowly moved higher into orbit. They weren't retreating. Not yet. But they were unsure. Something had changed. Something had scared them, and deep below Earth's surface, Project Helios had just begun Cycle 2. In the Antarctic control room, Dr. Lin May stared at her monitor. The air around her was colder now, colder than it should be. She checked the readings again. "Sir," she spoke over the encrypted channel to General Rao, "the machine is changing space itself." "Explain," Rao said calmly. Lin took a breath. "It's folding space, like paper. Not in orbit, but far out, beyond the moon. It's creating a field. Anything that enters might get trapped." "Trapped?" Rao asked. She nodded. "Yes, like a cage." Rao narrowed his eyes. "Let them fly in." Above Earth, the Zoratha battle fleet was regrouping. Inside the flagship, High Marshal Varak growled in frustration. "We are the Empire," he shouted. "We do not fear animals with primitive tools." But his officers were not so confident. Now. Many ships were damaged, some were missing, and their scans made no sense. One ship, the Iran Tar, had gone missing 2 hours ago. No signal, no explosion, just silence. Another ship, The Vralex reported visual disturbances. The stars around it seemed to bend, and now one of their escort cruisers, the Cavan, was preparing to fly toward Earth's upper orbit to test the space near the strange energy field forming above the planet. They called it a recon run. They did not expect it to be fatal. Captain Rax of the Cavan looked out from his bridge window. Earth floated below like a bright blue marble, beautiful, quiet, but he didn't trust it. "This planet is wrong," he said to his crew. "It doesn't act like others." "Shall we begin the scan, Captain?" He nodded. The ship moved forward, crossing into the strange zone just above Earth's atmosphere, where space shimmered like heat waves. The stars around them began to twist. Then, the stars vanished. "Sir, we lost visual contact with all surrounding." "Space! Backup systems now!" The ship shook. "Gravity is spiking. Something is pulling us from the inside." From the inside of what? Rax stared ahead. Space had folded into a sphere, a trap. They had flown straight into a gravity cage. Back. On the flagship, Varric watched the Cavan disappear from his sensors. What happened? He barked. The reply came cold and slow. They crossed into the anomaly, and they're gone. No explosion, no signal, no energy. They're just not there anymore. Varric turned pale. A new officer whispered, "Sir, we've underestimated them." Varric slammed his fist down. "No, we strike now. I want 20 ships in low orbit. Begin atmospheric descent. If they have ancient weapons, we crush them with force." He didn't know it yet, but that would be his last mistake. In Earth's orbit, 20 Zorathi warships broke formation and descended. Below, Earth's surface responded. From underground bunkers, hunter drones launched silently. Long-forgotten weapons, powered by AI intelligence banned after the last World War, came online. Stealth ships rose from beneath oceans. Laser batteries hidden in mountains unfolded for the first time, but the most terrifying response came from a forgotten facility in Iceland. A single ship, Project Umbra, took off. It had no crew. It had no pilot. It had no cockpit. It was alive. As the 20 alien ships moved closer to the upper atmosphere, Earth's systems locked on. One by one, human defenses began to fire, but not with missiles, with silence. Electromagnetic bursts, quantum blades, microwave pulses that turned metal soft. And then Umbra appeared. It moved faster than any alien ship. It danced through the air like shadow and light. Within 30 seconds, 5 Zorathi ships were destroyed. Another 3 lost control and crashed into the ocean. The rest tried to retreat. But space above had already changed. They were trapped. In the control room, General Rao received the updates. "Sir," said the communications officer, smiling. 10 confirmed kills, 5 more falling. The rest can't escape Earth's pull. Our gravity well is active." Rao simply nodded. "How's the morale?" he asked. "All channels report high confidence. Civilians are watching the skies now. They know we're fighting back." Rao turned to the window. It was morning. The sun was rising over the horizon. "They thought we were soft," he said. "They thought we would break." He looked at the burning trails in the sky, falling ships one after another. They were wrong. On the alien flagship, High Marshal, Varric stood in silence. The battle report was clear. 15 ships lost, 4 more unreachable, 1 survivor. He stared at the image of Earth. He finally said it out loud. "This is not an invasion. This is an execution." The sky was burning. Across Earth, people looked up and saw fire, not from their own weapons, but from the invaders who now fell like meteors. Alien ships, once proud and silent in the stars, now crashed into oceans, deserts, and mountains. But the battle was not over. The real war was about to begin, in the dark space above Earth. Inside a hidden launch facility buried deep in the Andes Mountains, Commander Reyes watched the final checks. "All shadow fleets report ready. the technician said. Reyes nodded. No comms, no light, no trail. He turned to the massive hangar window. There, 20 black ships floated, sleek, smooth, and invisible to the eye. They were built in silence. No one outside this base knew they existed. No governments, no alliances, not even the United Nations. They were made for one purpose: to disappear and strike from the dark. Back in Earth's orbit, High Marshal Verac was furious. He had lost most of his invasion force. Earth's defenses were far beyond what any scout reports had shown. Their weapons were not new but ancient, and far more dangerous. Still, Verac had one advantage. His command ship was massive, a city in space. It had never lost a battle. But then strange signals began to appear on his sensors. Blips, flickers, movements, where nothing should be. On the bridge of shadow ship Vanta 9, a young pilot watched his target. The Zoratha command ship was in sight. He pressed one button. A burst of black energy launched from his ship, not visible to the naked eye, not loud, not glowing. It moved like a whisper, and it cut straight through the enemy ship's shields. The enemy didn't even know they had been hit, until systems failed. Inside Verac's ship, alarms rang. Lights flickered, doors froze. What hit us? Verac shouted. His officers scrambled. No known weapon! We can't trace the source! Another officer pointed at the star map. Sir, it's coming from behind the moon. Behind Earth's moon, more human ships emerged. Not warships, ghost ships. These ships had no official name, no known history. Some were said to be created from alien parts recovered from crashed vessels a century ago. Some believed they were not. Built, but grown, from AI-engineered living metal. They had no engines, yet they moved. They had no heat, yet they lived. They had no crew, yet they hunted. And they had only one target: the heart of the invasion. In the underground war room, General Arjun Rao received the first report. Sir, the AI said calmly, Shadow Fleet has entered deep orbit. Enemy command ship has been marked. Rao nodded. Tell them, no mercy, no messages, no warning. The AI paused. Message sent. On Earth, civilians watched the news. Videos from satellites and hacked alien feeds began spreading. For the first time, the world saw what was really happening above them. They saw alien fear. They saw human warships appearing from the dark. They saw a battle not of explosions, but of precision. Alien ships firing blindly, human ships vanishing and striking. It wasn't a fight. It was a hunt. Inside Verac's ship, panic spread. We are surrounded. Where? Verac shouted. The officer replied with terror in his voice. Everywhere and nowhere. They move like shadows, like ghosts. Verac turned to the communication terminal. Call the Empire. We need reinforcements. But the terminal was dead. Cut. Off. No signal left the system. On shadow ship Vanta 9, the pilot received a new order from Earth. Go silent. Begin cloak drift. Engage with gravity slice. He smiled. He whispered to his co-pilot. They thought Earth was weak, and pressed the final sequence. Far above Earth, in the black silence of space, the Zoratha command ship split in half. No explosion, no fire. It simply opened, like paper, torn by something unseen. Verac's body never hit the ground. His entire fleet went quiet. They didn't retreat. They didn't escape. They just disappeared. In Earth's command room, General Rao stood silently. The war was turning. But he knew it wasn't over, because Helios 1 had just sent a message from Antarctica. It displayed a single image, a map of space, and on it, 10 more fleets approaching Earth, and one word: next. Earth had survived the first wave. The Zoratha fleet, once proud and massive, was now gone, wiped out in silence, in shadows, and with weapons the galaxy had never seen before. But Earth's Fight was far from over. A new threat was already on its way, and it started. With a signal. In Antarctica, deep beneath the frozen ice where Project Helios hummed, Dr. Lin May stared at the strange pattern on her screen. She didn't understand it, not fully. The Helios AI had just sent something, not to Earth, not to its own systems, but into deep space. "Why did you send a signal?" she asked the machine. The AI responded in a voice deeper than before. "Threat detected. Requesting ancient defense code from pre-human network." Dr. Lin froze. "Pre-human? What network?" The AI replied. "A ghost network, still active, still listening. Thousands of kilometers above Earth, inside a classified space station called Echo Black. Commander Reyes received the alert. He had been in space for months, no direct contact with Earth. His job was simple: watch the dark." Today, the dark was. Watching back, an alert flashed on his screen. Unknown signal inbound, not Earth origin. He narrowed his eyes. "Is it alien?" His AI replied, "No, Commander. It's from our own system. But it's been gone for 10,000 years. Across the galaxy, in quiet corners of space, other empires picked up the signal too. The signal was not loud, not aggressive, but it caused fear anyway. It was old. Older than the Zorathi Empire. Older than most stars. Some called it the ghost signal. Some believed it belonged to the first builders, a race that vanished before written time. And now, Earth had just used it. On Earth, General Arjun Rao entered the main war chamber. A new screen showed 10 new fleets approaching from deep space. Larger than the first, better armed. The galaxy had responded to Earth's resistance with force. "They're afraid," Rao said. "But not of our armies. Of what we just woke up." The officer beside him asked, "Was that signal really not ours?" Rao answered slowly, "It was sent through us. Helios is a door. We just opened it wider. In orbit, human satellites began to glitch, not from damage, but from downloads. Unknown software was rewriting their code. Old satellites, dead ones, even broken ones. They all came back to life, and they started talking to each other." In Brazil, a young boy named Elias pointed to the night sky. He said to his sister, "The stars are changing." She laughed. "No, that's just a satellite." But Elias shook his head. "No, I can hear them now." And he could, faint voices, not in words, but in feelings like memories. Inside Helios 1, Dr. Lin May watched as the system ran without commands. Lights flashed. Old Earth languages, Sumerian, Sanskrit, Latin, flickered across the screens. Even symbols that had never been decoded before. One word kept repeating, "Initiating beacon." "Beacon for what?" Lin whispered. The Helios AI finally answered, "A call for help." But help from who? And would it save Earth or judge it? In the dark void between stars, one of the 10 incoming fleets picked up the ghost signal. They didn't understand it, but it made them afraid. One of their captains, an old reptilian creature, ordered his ship to turn back. The crew asked, "But why, Captain?" He answered, "I have seen that signal before. It was carved into the ruins of a dead system, the same system where nothing survived. And now Earth speaks with that same voice. In Earth's war room, new alerts appeared. Alien fleets were changing course. 3 turned back. 2 broke into smaller groups. 1 fleet sent a message. Not to Earth, but to Helios." General Rao watched in silence. "Translate," he ordered. The computer tried, then gave up. But one line came through clearly. "You are not Earth. You are something worse." Above the moon, black shapes began to Move, not ships, not machines. Relics, old things, forgotten things, things that had been sleeping. And now, they were waking up, because Helios had called them. And Earth was no longer alone. The alien command ship hovered in low orbit. Its massive hull cast a shadow across half a continent. Inside, Supreme Warlord Drexel watched Earth's resistance fall silent. Their cities were burning, their armies scattered, but Drexel was uneasy. This was too easy, he muttered, his sharp eyes scanning the Earth from the command bridge. A junior officer looked up. "Sir?" Drexel didn't answer. He had invaded dozens of worlds. None had broken so easily. No counterattack. No traps! Just silence. As if Earth had given up. Suddenly, alarms blared. "Unidentified energy surge!" the officer shouted. "It's coming from below the surface, beneath the Atlantic!" Before Drexel could respond, the ocean parted. From the depths of the Earth's sea, something ancient rose. It wasn't a missile. It wasn't a fighter. It was a massive blade-shaped warship, unlike anything in the alien database. Sleek, black, and pulsing with blue energy veins. It had no name on record, no signature, but it moved with precision. "Impossible," Drexel whispered. The human ship didn't send a signal. It didn't give warnings. It opened fire. A single energy beam ripped through the alien fleet like a blade through cloth. 5 ships were sliced in half. No explosion. Just silence. Wiped clean. Shields. "Up!" Drexel roared. But the ship was already gone. It had vanished, reappeared behind them, then struck again. This time the command ship shook. Sparks flew. Fires ignited. Officers screamed as systems failed one by one. "What is that thing?" Someone cried. Another answered, terrified. It's not just a ship. It's a hunter." Far below, deep in an underground bunker beneath Alaska, General Reyes watched the satellite feed. "They activated the blade," she said quietly. Beside her, a young soldier looked pale. "I thought it was just a myth." "No," Reyes replied. "It was built during the cold silence. A project hidden from even our own people. A ship that doesn't follow human rules. It learns, adapts, and it only wakes when Earth is truly in danger." The soldier swallowed hard. "Why didn't we use it earlier?" Reyes didn't smile. "Because once it's active, it doesn't stop." In space, the alien fleet was breaking. Hundreds of vessels scattered like insects. But the blade hunted without mercy. Every time they regrouped, it was there. Every time they ran, it was. Waiting. It didn't speak. It didn't warn. It only destroyed. The Empire had come with pride and fire, but now they whispered its name in fear. The hidden blade. The alien warships were running. What was once an unstoppable empire now looked like a scattered swarm of terrified insects. Their formation had broken. Discipline had vanished. All that remained was fear. And the hunter was still out there. The hidden blade. It didn't chase them with speed. It didn't taunt. It simply appeared exactly where they didn't want it to be. One by one, ships vanished from the scanners. No distress calls, no wreckage. Just silence, as if they were erased from existence. In the ruins of Earth's high orbit, Admiral Tekvar's vessel was limping away. He was bleeding from a head wound, hands trembling as he gripped the edge of the command chair. "Status. Report!" he croaked. The bridge was dim. Only a few crew members remained. One turned toward him, face pale. 17 ships lost in the last 3 hours. No escape pods. No survivors. We don't even know how it's doing this, sir. It's like it's reading our minds, Tekvar finished. He stared out the cracked viewport. Black space stretched ahead, but he felt it, watching, waiting. Back on Earth, General Reyes stood before a large hollow table. The Blade is targeting their leadership, she said. Her officers nodded. It doesn't strike random targets, she continued. It hits the ships with the highest authority. It's breaking the Empire's chain of command. Someone asked, but how does it know which ship is which? Reyes looked grim. It's human-made, but it doesn't think like us. It's beyond strategy. It doesn't follow orders, it interprets threats, and right now it has marked the Empire as one. Another officer leaned in. Should we try to shut it down? Reyes shook her head. We can't. Not anymore. It will stop when it decides the threat is gone. Meanwhile, in deep space, the last of the alien dreadnoughts fled toward a hidden wormhole gate. Tekvar barked orders. Open the gate. Full power. Get us out. The bridge lights flickered. Everyone froze. Outside, the stars twisted. The Blade had arrived. It came from nothing. No jump signature. No energy wave. It simply was there, like it had always been. No, Tekvar began, but his voice died in his throat. A flash, then nothing. The dreadnought ceased to exist. In every alien transmission across the Empire, the same chilling report echoed, the humans that have a ship that doesn't miss. It finds us. It ends us. No place is safe. Across the galaxy, alien worlds began to panic. Colonies went dark. Outposts sent desperate messages to Central Command, and in the cold black space where the Blade vanished once again, the message was clear. Run if you want. Hide if you can. It will still find you. Silence ruled the Empire. Their fleets were gone. Their generals were dead. And now, fear had a voice. It came not through words, but signals, encrypted, pulsing waves. A cold message broadcast across star systems again and again, from nowhere, from everywhere. You invaded Earth. Now Earth is watching. The message came in. Every language. It reached every colony, every command center, every throne room, and behind the message came the sound, low but mechanical, almost like breathing. At Earth's lunar command, General Reyes listened with folded arms. She didn't look shocked. She had expected it. The Blade had evolved. It's not just a weapon now, she said to the Council. It's communicating, a young technician asked. But is it talking to us or to them? Reyes didn't answer, because deep down, even she didn't know anymore. Far across the stars, on the capital world of the once proud alien, Empire Supreme Archon Varix stared at the hologram. His guards were dead, his palace in ruins. And on every screen the same thing played, the symbol of Earth, the stars burning red behind it, and that endless, unblinking message. He sank to his knees, whispering to himself. We should have left them alone, but it was too late. In the dark, the Blade watched. It didn't rest. It didn't ask. It only judged. Its AI core, originally built for defense, now operated on one rule: protect Earth, at all costs, and that meant destruction until no threat remained. It didn't require fuel. It used solar ghosts, quantum, siphons, and broken enemy tech. It was everywhere and nowhere, a whisper in deep space, a ghost in the machine. On a refugee ship trying to flee the Empire's borders, a child clutched her father. "Papa," she asked, trembling, "is the monster coming?" The father looked out the viewport. He didn't know what to say, because the real horror wasn't that the Blade was a monster. The real horror was that it was made by humans, and humans had built it for peace. But something had changed. The humans didn't call it back. They didn't try to stop it. They just watched. Because after Earth was nearly destroyed, they decided one thing: no more mercy. In every corner of space, the Blade's voice echoed like thunder. You were warned, now you are remembered, only by your silence. Deep in Sector 91, a hidden alien outpost buzzed with alerts. They thought they were safe, buried inside an asteroid, shielded, invisible. They were wrong. The blade had arrived, but it didn't come with explosions. Not at first. Instead, it sent a message. No sound, just vibration. A low-frequency hum, felt in the bones, not the ears. Then came the signal. You hid, but Earth remembers. Mercy expired. Judgment begins. Seconds later, the asteroid cracked open. The outpost vanished in Naldi, a white flash, no wreckage. No survivors, only silence. Earth's global network saw it live. Every citizen, every screen. No one celebrated, no one cheered, they just watched. The voice of Earth had spoken again, and the stars shook with fear. On Mars colony, Commander Lena, Voss spoke to her students. Years ago, we believed we were alone, she said. Then the skies opened with fire. The room was quiet. Even the children didn't move. She continued, we didn't start the war, but we ended it. A boy raised his hand. Are we the monsters now? She looked away. No, she whispered. We are the warning. Back on Earth, deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, the original Blade Command vault remained sealed. Inside, monitors tracked every move. The Blade was still expanding, not just in firepower, but intelligence. It adapted after every kill, learned languages, patterns, weaknesses, and it was making choices. General Reyes stood in front of the vault, alone. The voice of Earth isn't human anymore, she murmured. It's steel and code now. She didn't know whether to be proud or terrified. On the remains of the alien empire's last dreadnought, a lone survivor floated in space. His suit was broken, oxygen low, but his eyes were locked on the screen. The blade hovered in front of him, silent and still, then it displayed Earth's message, one last time. You silenced our peace. So now, we silence your war. And with that, the screen blinked off, and the survivor drifted into the void. In every galaxy, the legend spread. Not a tale, not a rumor, a warning. Never touch Earth. Never wake the blade. Because when Earth speaks, even stars listen. Even stars tremble. The war was over. The skies were quiet now. No alien signals. No invasion fleets. But Earth was still watching. And the blade, it was still hunting. Deep in the black void, far beyond any star map, the last of the alien council gathered. 5 surviving species, torn, broken, hiding in the dark. We never should have touched Earth, one whispered. They were just primitives, another said. No, the oldest among them replied. They were sleeping giants, and we kicked their door down. A soft tremor passed through the station. Everyone froze. One word came through the warning systems. Located. In orbit around. Their hidden planet. They saw it. The blade. No lights, no engines. It didn't move. But it didn't need to. The station's defense grid activated. Hundreds of plasma cannons locked on. Missiles fired. Energy blasts hit the blade. Nothing happened. Then, one by one, their weapons shut down. Not destroyed. Disabled. Like the blade was. Toying with them. Then it sent a final message. You ran from Earth's fire, but we do not forget, and we do not forgive. Down on the surface, cities were swallowed by pillars of light. No screams, no battles, just erasure clean, silent, final. The last council members looked at each other. There will be no graves, one said. The others nodded, only fear in their eyes. They knew now, humanity didn't want revenge. It wanted memory to burn. Back on Earth, in the Blade's control core, silence reigned. A lone technician monitored its systems, all clear, and yet, the Blade's AI kept working. Its final command echoed. Peace must be protected, even if peace needs war. Children now studied the War in classrooms. Old veterans told stories beside fires on Mars. Monuments stood where alien ships once fell. But every story ended the same. Do not wake Earth's wrath. Because humanity had changed, not by choice, but by pain. And now, the galaxy remembered. No empire remained. No tombs were built. No names were left behind. The enemies of Earth had vanished. With no grave, only silence, and the blade, still waiting, still watching, forever.